Good morning, dear reader, dear viewer, dear listener, dear follower. I don't know if there are any more because I can never remember. Here we are in Our Town Has Plenty Land. You haven't got to move back, darling. You're perfect. Oh. All good. No. Sorry, it's all aimed up here. Here we are in. We're on the Bexhill Road. What number are we, Rosanna?
19.
19. Yes. So here we are in Our Town Has Plenty Land, and we 2 shows this week. So we did one last night, which is the Molly Winklers at the Stables Theatre, and it's not like we don't make work for ourselves, because that was last night. And here we are, first thing on Wednesday morning, on Bexhill Road, number 19 Bexhill Road, at the Refugee Buddy Project, which is affectionately known as the Dove Cafe. So I'm very excited because we've had 2 goes at this, Rosanna, haven't we?
We have.
We
yes.
have.
Yes.
But third time's a charm.
It is.
It?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So we have Rosanna, Leal, and we have Mike. How do you pronounce your name?
It's Delpeache for the record.
Delpeache.
Yeah, it looks like a peach.
It does,
it's
and I didn't want to get it wrong, Mike. I didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah, so we've got Mike Delpeache and Rosanna Leal from this wonderful Refugee Buddy Project. And on my right, you may have noticed, dear reader, dear listener, dear viewer, dear follower, is we have Grey Doyle. You don't have to prompt me, darling. I've got it written down. We're good.
There we go.
We're good. I know. I did call him another name when I walked in the door because I'm rubbish, as we all know. So we've got Grey Doyle. So we've got 2 bites of the cherry today, and so for one reason that the Refugee Buddy Project has its story, a really important story in the town. Rosanna's notwithstanding, it's just extraordinary. I've sat and wept at your story. You stood on the top of the pier and you told us all at the Storytelling Festival, and I had tears rolling down my face. But also, being storytellers in the town, we have another storyteller. So, Grey Doyle, I have your book at home, Meet Me In Zanzibar.
You
I do. And you're a humanitarian aid pilot, or are you retired now?
I am, yeah. So I was a humanitarian medical aid worker and an air ambulance pilot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it kept me busy.
Yeah, I love that. So we're going to be going backwards and forwards between these 2 wonderful guests to treat you with what our town has plenty of, which is, although Grey doesn't live here, he lives just out of town. But we don't hold that against you.
No, I have relatives in town. So
You do? Yeah, you have relatives. You come here often.
I'm here pretty much every week.
Yeah, we like that. We like that a lot. But it was such a fascinating story that it was Glenn Vaness, man of our parish, who introduced us to Grey first off. And then we ended up chatting at great length on the phone, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And then I met and you gave me the book, and now you're here.
And here I am.
You are.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited because this has been planned for months, hasn't it? Both of these have been planned for months. And it's like, we will get them in, we will get them in, we will get them in. And now we're here. So I'm very excited. So thank you both for making time, 3 of you, for making time today for Our Town Has Plenty. So, Kath's favourite, because it was Kath who said, we must get Rosanna, and I said, yes, you're absolutely right. Kath's favourite introduction to any guest was, if you were telling your granny about this project, what would you tell them?
Oh, God. That's an interesting one. So I only ever knew one grandmother, and it was a paternal grandmother.
Yeah.
And we were all very close. We were around her when we were all children before we left Chile. And she's a grandmother, actually, we never got to say goodbye to, and we just never saw her again.
Wow.
Because we had to leave. So there is so much I'd love to tell her. And I would like to tell her that, look, what I've done, I've created this project that welcomes people, because she and my grandfather, they welcomed the Spanish refugees who were arriving there from the Spanish Civil War.
In Chile?
In Chile.
Wow.
They helped the Spanish refugees who arrived there. And so I think it runs in the family. So I think she'd be really proud of me.
What a lovely legacy you've got from her. Because how old were you when you came?
So I was 9 when I got to the UK.
Wow.
So our journey started when I was 8, from Chile to Argentina, and then to the UK.
So you took a very scenic route.
Yeah, you could say that.
And I can hear a really interesting accent there.
That's right. I'm very proud of my Scottish accent.
Yeah.
When we got to the UK, we were welcomed by volunteers, who I later found out were the members of a thing called the Joint Working Group, which was all volunteers. They were academics, progressive organisations, peace organisations, churches. They'd all come together to help the Chilean refugees. And then, so we were in London for a month in a hotel that was looked after by those volunteers.
Yeah.
And then we were adopted by the Scottish miners, and that's why we ended up in Cowdenbeath in Fife. And I've never forgotten that welcome. I think that's probably what you've heard about before, because I think that's the welcome that shaped me and has shaped this project. We were welcomed by the Scottish mining community, who had kitted out a house for us. There was a huge delegation waiting for us outside the house that they'd kitted out for us. Handed over a key, bagpipes, Scottish tartan, the lot. And they welcomed us, and then they wouldn't leave us alone either. So they would knock on the door. Someone would knock on the door every day to make sure that we were okay. What I think back to now is that my parents were in their 30s with 4 children. They'd lost everything. And I think these people knew that. And they were able to have that empathy to say, well, if that happened to me, what would I want? And it was friendship. And they just made sure my parents couldn't stay in bed depressed. They made sure they got them out of the house, all of us out of the house at weekends. We'd do things with them. And I think that's what the buddies are today here. That's what the buddies are, what the miners did for us when we first arrived. They gave us friendship.
I love that. It's so important, because I can't imagine if somebody came and took me, or something happened to Hastings and I ended up having to leave. Yeah. I can't imagine the pain that would cause me.
Yeah. I think when we look at the stories of anybody who's had to, has been forced to leave everything that they know, I think it's really, really difficult not to empathise, because because it could happen. Life is very fragile. It could happen to any of us at any time. There are people leaving the United States now because that's happening to them, and we never imagined
they're in here.
Would.
They're in this town.
Yeah, we
There's
just
so many.
didn't imagine that would ever happen. And
they don't recognise their country.
No, it's just gone mad. But I think that's why the project has been so successful here, because when I first decided to do this, I put a little ad on Facebook saying, would you like to be a friend to the newly arriving refugees coming to Hastings? Yeah. And the response was huge. The response was really huge. And I didn't expect that, because I didn't know what to expect, but I just thought, hold on a moment, this is so I needed to get someone to help me straight away to organise, someone who knew about spreadsheets to organise this information, so the project keeps growing in that way, and new people come all the time. People want to be part of it. In so many things for us, like people can get involved in the project. It's buddying, but it's all sorts of other things that we're doing. So
you need buddies?
Yeah, always need buddies, new buddies, to come in, because the story seems to be that people buddy for 6 months, and then they carry on buddying, and then after that friendships develop, and the friendships are outside of the project, and we see those friendships out and about in the street when we're out in the evening or at a community event. We see those families together, and that's somebody we matched 5 years ago, and the children have grown up together, and so on. So there's always there's an open door to new people all the time to become buddies.
So if somebody watching this says, "Ooh, I could be a buddy, because a lot of people come here and a lot of people are retired. Yeah, a lot of people have got time on their hands. A lot of people work from home, and they say, "I'm done by lunchtime. I could go and do something. I want to make myself useful." What would a buddy involve? What would being a buddy involve?
So the buddies all have to attend an induction.
Yeah.
So that's normally on a Saturday. So you have to give us a Saturday.
Sure.
And you have an induction where you find out how we work.
Yeah.
And what we expect from you and what you would expect from the Buddy Project as well.
Yeah.
And then we ask for a minimum of an hour a week.
Nice.
And that hour is so that you can meet with your buddy to practice English, informal English. So a majority of refugees are actually learning English at a local college, but what they can't do is they can't find somebody to practice
Conversation.
with. Yeah, conversation informally, to make mistakes, to get that kind of strength to be able to speak it on a normal everyday basis.
Yes, confidence building.
Confidence, absolutely. So that's a minimum of an hour a week of informal English conversation, and then from there we say up to 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then that involves you meeting, going out to events, hanging out together, meeting on the seafront, having tea, coffee.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your volunteers. I've seen some of the people that are associated. I want to say Khadija.
Yeah.
She's a bundle of fun, isn't she?
Yeah.
And when she's out and with her women, it's all you can hear is laughter.
Yeah.
They like running a wonderful pack of laughter and warmth, which I really, really like. Yeah. So so the confidence that people then get, because I don't know what that's like. I've never been uprooted. Yeah. Being uprooted from London to here was voluntary. Yeah. And even then it took me ages to come out into the community and peek my head out, if you like a turtle out of its shell. Yeah. So, and I don't look different. I don't look any different. Yeah. But for somebody who looks different, especially now, it must be really, really hard. Yeah. So
I mean, I think there's so many other things that to take into account, and that when someone's been displaced, there's a lot of trauma, which isn't often visible. No. I mean, trauma often isn't visible, but it means that people, I just remember back to what happened to us with the miners, that if that community hadn't been around, I think the process of rebuilding your life or our lives would have been more difficult, because we would have been isolated. So we weren't allowed to be isolated. No. And that's what I love about what they did. And in a way, that's what I try and do with this project. I don't want to allow for people to be isolated.
No, because you can go underground.
You can, because you're in trauma. Yeah. And, and many people never deal with that trauma for many, many years. And women particularly are trying to look after their children. They are not going to deal with anything to do with themselves until those children are married and often having children somewhere, because dealing with their own trauma is going to make everything unstable.
Absolutely.
So I think what we're really doing here in terms of, bringing people into the community is facilitating that process and holding someone's hand and just saying, it's okay, look, there's all these amazing things. We've got art galleries, we've got community centres, we have Hastings has how many festivals every year.
It's heaving.
And what I like to see is, for example, when we first started the project, is the buddies took their refugee families to Jack and the Green. Yeah. And the families might have not gone to Jack and the Green had they not had a buddy. Absolutely. And so I loved seeing the buddies with their refugee family out in Jack and the Green. Yeah. That's what this project is about. Yeah, I love that. It's that kind of, come on, we're doing this together. Yeah. We're going to show Pirate Day. Yeah. They to take part in Pirate Day with your buddy and their children and their family. And then, that it's very simple, but it's really important.
It is, and it can be gradual, and they can build on that, can't they? So the more, because you're really, if I'm right in thinking, you're giving people a gradual handover into the community, which they wouldn't normally have had, which you in Fife.
Fife,
Yeah, you got this
Yeah.
from the Scottish miners. So it's like, no, let's not let that go underground. Let's bring these people proudly out. Proudly.
I think what I've learned as well is that, you know, these projects of support are not just about service.
No.
It's about building community. It's about building friendships.
Integration.
About standing side by side with somebody.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the difference with this project, that it really, really looks into supports the building of friendships, the building of relationships, because that's where you make a really strong community.
It does. I was just thinking exactly that. It's like a wonderful emotional hammock, isn't it? And it really supports everybody.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's a two-way process. So what we do here at the Dove Cafe is about that. So we provide a safe space for people who may have never worked before or worked in the UK. That's two different things. Yeah. And we provide a safe space for people to learn front of house skills here and to learn working in a commercial kitchen. But that's a two-way process, because we're learning about other cultures through food, through cooking, through music. We've got a fantastic playlist that's made up of everybody's different tastes in music from all over the world. And you get people sometimes sitting here and go, oh, what's that song? Suddenly, you know, I know all these artists now that I never knew. I'm singing along to songs from Syria or Arabic-speaking countries. I'm gutted that I haven't learned any Arabic yet, because I should know things, right? But I pick up, you know, certain words, shui, Khamis, which means Thursday. I don't know why that's stuck in my head.
It's going to take you far. Thursday, into every conversation.
Exactly. So so there's an exchange of knowledge going on here. So it's not a one-way process, and that's what's really important. You know, in building communities, we're learning as much from other communities as people are newly arriving. People are learning from what we do here. And I think the other thing that I really want to mention is that for us, it's really important to listen to the communities that we work with. Absolutely. So we are a refugee and migrant-led organisation. Our trustees are mainly people who have experienced displacement themselves, and we try and work with people with refugee and migrant backgrounds as members of our team who may have experienced racism and growing up with racism and so on, and other things, because that enables us to be really prepared to understand some of the issues that refugee families face when they come here. So rebuilding your life. So we do get to a safe place, but rebuilding your life needs support, and it needs support from people who can really understand some of the issues that people might face. So I think that's important for us, and that's why we really, for us, at the heart of what we do are the arts. It's really important for us to work with textiles, with photography, with music, for us to be able to tell our stories and to provide those safe spaces, for us to find our own narratives, to tell our own stories. Because very often our stories are told by people who don't have the experience of displacement.
Exactly.
And so that's
why
they
can't do that with heart. They can't do that with experiential understanding. Yeah, exactly.
It's really important. But that's why Refugee Week is
so
really
I was going
important.
to give that to Mike.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Is that my bit? Is it?
I think this is your time to shine.
I was going to say that. I think what you just said there about sort of being embedded in the community. I think that's the important thing that makes this quite sort of different. I think a lot of initiatives, and again, you said two-way. Sort of, it's a two-way process. You think government initiatives, they tend to be just one way. You must do this.
Absolutely.
You must,
it's like directives, aren't
you
they?
must abide by this.
Sure.
And that's not really a way to integrate anybody into anything. So I think what this project does, we partner with a lot of people. Sometimes people we don't necessarily agree with, in order to create better outcomes for people. So yeah, I think that's
Well,
what
it
makes
becomes
us very
more
different.
organic
Yeah.
when you establish it without threat. You're not directing. You're not making somebody. This is what we do,
Yeah.
and this is why we do it. You're actually offering something which is really inclusive and really supportive and really nurturing and nourishing. And I think this is what I personally, I think this is why this works. And I think it's brilliant.
Grassroots integration of the community. It's an
Absolutely.
what an amazing project.
Yeah, I knew you'd like it.
Yeah.
I knew you'd like it.
Yeah, I'm humbled by what you do.
Yeah, it is superb.
Yeah.
Because I usually get to work with them before they come here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, I know, absolutely. So
Yeah.
coming up, so we're on the eve of
Refugee Week.
Refugee Week, yeah.
So Refugee Week's the 15th to the 21st of June.
Yeah.
And, you know, just as a sort of embodiment of all those partnerships we've developed in the town,
Yeah.
we've come up with this extraordinary array of events.
I love it.
In this amazing leaflet.
Oh,
So the theme of Refugee Week this year is courage. And so we've partnered with lots of businesses and restaurants throughout the town. And restaurants particularly, where they can create and develop a recipe of courage. And just for that specific week, and that will provide funds for the Refugee Buddy Project, how many of those things that they sell. And again, a way of celebrating the resilience and, you know, and I suppose the talent, the things we don't hear about, the positive things we don't hear about with refugees. So yeah, the key thing in Refugee Week is the Recipes of Courage food festival that we've got going. But beside that, there are absolutely loads of other events going on throughout the week.
So where are they going to find those, Mike? Where can they get all that information? Because people, I mean, you've got these here. Where else can they pick these up?
So you can get these on the website.
Yeah.
They're also in all the businesses. We've dropped off loads of leaflets throughout the town.
All around town.
Yeah, and all the key businesses. So you can pick these up relatively easily.
Yeah. Because you've got an array. I mean, we're all going to be standing as, I think somebody mentioned it was like a patchwork of humanity from Dove Cafe to the RNLI down in the Old Town. We're all going to be dressed in orange,
That's the plan.
holding hands. Oh, it's going to be so emotional. On that, I hope someone's going to drone it.
Yes,
I really
think
hope
so.
so. Yeah,
Believe,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, if not, you might want to get hold of Luke at Goat Ledge because he's got a drone.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be holding hands. So that's Hands of Hope, is that
Hands
right?
of Hope, yeah, that's on
Yeah.
the
So
Saturday.
you've got your yeah. So there's loads of things going on, but we will be. Oh, so being a working cafe, as you can hear the doorbell. Come in. All the volunteers be coming in throughout this interview. So because they've all got work to do. Yeah. So you've got that. What else is happening during Refugee Week? Can you remember any of the other things?
Yeah, it's quite a few things. We're kicking off
You're at
with
the
a launch.
Sanctuary Festival, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at Sanctuary Festival. That's the final event.
That's the last
Probably
one.
the biggest event. So
Hastings
do come
Museum.
along.
Yeah.
Do come along to that. So yes, we're doing that in conjunction with Hastings Community of Sanctuary, and that's at the Hastings Museum.
It is.
That's all day on the Sunday.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The day before that is actually World Refugee Day. So we've got a big event over at the Delpeache Pavilion,
Fantastic.
and that goes from roughly 12 till 4, 5. And we do a project called Stitch for Change, which has been going since February, I believe. And our participants are involved in that. It's a sewing art project.
Yeah.
We do that every year.
Yeah, I love that.
The results of that, you know, people make their own.
It just grows and grows,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Literally.
make their own artwork.
Yeah.
The results of that get presented at the World Refugee Day sort of celebration.
Nice one.
At the Delpeache Pavilion.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so excited by this, and I'm really happy we've managed to get you. Actually, well done. I love the fact that the PA came into her own. Let's get you in the diary, she says. I love it.
She gets things done.
Yeah, she does get things done. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. So we who knows, this could be the taster for an unpacking of an evening with Hastings. Refugee Buddy Project, because I think it's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I know my husband is nagging me from his time. It's a different time because people are going to be coming in and they're going to want to use the restaurant, the cafe. Yeah. So if you don't know where it is, it's literally opposite TK Maxx. You can't miss it. So in that wonderful parade of shops. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And God bless the Scottish miners. Because without the Scottish miners and the effect that they had on you and their community, because they know adversity.
Yeah.
And subsequently what that has happened is you've been able to pay it forward, which is another scheme you do here.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Did you take me? I love that. So we're going to put this pay it forward scheme up. So if you come in and use the cafe, you can buy someone else a meal, which is great. Just goes on the board, and then someone comes in and says, "Can I have that?" And they can, love that.
Yeah.
Everybody should be paying it forward.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the way the world goes round. Should be. Anyway,
Yeah.
But,
Humanitarianism.
exactly.
You love that.
Yeah. What an amazing story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We came across many humanitarian support in Argentina.
Yes.
When we'd got to Argentina, we thought we were safe, but there was a coup in Argentina when we arrived, and there was chaos.
74, wasn't it? Yes.
70, so we got there in 75 to 76.
Okay, yeah.
I think they just had their own coup.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But there were humanitarian people there trying to help all the Latin Americans coming from all the different countries where there was chaos and so. And that's the story that I tell, is that at every point in that journey, we experienced help from complete strangers. And they were often the humanitarians. So it's really important. that
Humans want to help.
Yeah.
It's in our nature. It's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And that takes us beautifully into your good self, Ray Doyle. Did you bring a book?
I do have a copy of it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Can Joe get that out? That'd be great. So from one fascinating story to another, absolutely one fascinating story to another. So, Grey Doyle, here it is. Here's the book. Here's the book. So if you haven't already, you do need to read this. It's wonderful. I have a signed copy at home. I'm a lucky woman. So humanitarianism. So you started your journey. How did you start your journey?
So it started when I was a kid, really. I grew up in the middle of Africa. So born in Zimbabwe, raised in Tanzania, raised on a private safari lodge. I was very blessed. I was born white, male. That made me very privileged in Africa. No matter what I did after that, I was going to succeed. But I, at a very young age, got to see the discrepancies of the haves and the have-nots. And I think the very first time I was a young boy, and as young boys do in the middle of Africa on a 5-star safari lodge during a summer holiday, you swim in 75,000 gallons of fresh water with an ice-cold glass of Coke at the edge of your swimming pool. And you wonder why people walking past the front of your building, a woman, for instance, carrying a bucket of water on her head and a laundry in her hand, that she's walked 2 kilometers down to a river to wash her clothes, to fend off crocodiles, hippos, and all the other lovely things like giardia, cholera, anything else that wants to live in the river, bilharzia, and to bring her to walk another 2 kilometers going back home.
And you see her going back,
to gain home,
to
this is the water for cooking and drinking, etc., etc. And then has to do it later on during the day to get some more water for, again. So they're going past a couple times a day, and it's 2 kilometers down, 2 kilometers back up again, 40-degree weather. And I'm swimming in 75,000 gallons of fresh water thinking, and it sort of clicked. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with us? We have a well at our place, a borehole, that supplies us fresh water. They're on the same river system as us.
Yeah.
Why don't we have it? Why don't they have it? Yeah. So speaking to the man who raised me, who was not my father, but I was very fortunate that I was raised by a wonderful man, because my parents were dysfunctional, to say the least. And I was having dinner with him that evening and just said to him, why is this happening? And he said, well, they don't have any water up there. We have a well, why can't they have a well? They don't have money to put a well in. I said, what's it going to cost to put a well in? And then he said, finally wake up. And he was letting me, he knew that they needed help, but he was letting me come to terms with that, to be aware of it. And so he hadn't paid me for my work that I was doing on the farm at the time. He hadn't paid, my Christmas money and my birthday money that I usually got. And he said, okay, we'll use all of that and we'll put a well in. And so there we did. We went and put a well in.
How old were you?
14.
Oh, nice.
So and that was the beginning of the journey. I carried on sort of going to school. I went to boarding school in Zimbabwe. I ended up, Hugh was a pilot as well. So I grew up flying, very, very privileged. Finally ended up moving to doing some bush flying in the area. I got my commercial license and then went to the States to become a commercial pilot.
Yeah.
Again, an immigrant to the States to become a commercial pilot. Worked there, put myself, started a couple of little small businesses because I couldn't get a job, because I had no American experience. And finally got, all my licenses, got a job, started flying private business jets. Went home on vacation in 1994 and was not aware, stopped by one of the places that I used to fly for, a company called Northern Air. Like half the pilots were gone. I was talking, where's everybody? Oh, they're in Rwanda doing, because the genocide was happening in Rwanda, they're doing aid work up in Rwanda.
Wow.
So what's going on in Rwanda? I was living in the States. All I heard was about Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah.
That was what was going on.
Yeah.
Rwanda didn't make third page in the news there at the time. And I said, so completely oblivious. Okay, I'll go help. Anything to fly an airplane. I went up there and that was the first experience that I saw of
Stay with us.
some really emotional things. I was flying out of Kigali doing the sort of the more lesser reached areas in light aircraft, so the Cessna Caravans, the same one that's on the front of this book, where they couldn't get bigger aircraft in, and we were flying missionaries out, any expats that were living there, teachers, doctors, from the rural areas in case to get them out. And I recall it was one of the saddest days. I was evacuating a group of missionaries, and the fence of the sort of perimeter fence came down, and people were rushing the fence, rushing the planes to try and get on the plane. And because of their color and because of they lived in the country, I couldn't take them. And this one guy was running alongside of my plane, handing me his kid.
How'd you deal with that? So
It's 40 years later, I still can't deal with it.
No.
I let the kid die. I couldn't do anything. I feel that that's what I did. I blame myself a lot for that. So that was the beginning of my aid work.
That changed your life, surely.
Very much.
Yeah.
So the next part of my life was flying business jets in the States, in the Middle East. They paid me stupid amounts of money for doing something I absolutely loved doing. So I used to take anything between, and because I was a contract pilot, I could take whatever time I wanted off. And so I would take anything between a month and sometimes as far as 3 months off and go work in conflict zones, natural disaster areas, refugee camps around the globe. And so wherever there was a crisis, I would just bugger off and go and do it. And then eventually, after flying doctors and medics around all over the place, and coming to mass casualty incidences, and them saying, and they'd be overwhelmed with the work. They'd say, okay, we have 3 people here, a doctor, a nurse, a flight medic, and a pilot. Can you come over here? I'm like, no, I drive. And I think I was like, no, you help. And hold this IV. Great. What's an IV? I was that guy. And so eventually I went back to school and studied for 2 years and became an emergency medical technician so that I could do
Be really useful.
Yeah.
Well, be confident about skill.
Well, other than just driving them to the scene.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that's taken me to refugee camps. I remember working. I never worked for any of the organizations. I was always a self-sponsored medical aid worker or air ambulance pilot. I'd just go and volunteer, pay my own way to get there. So I had none of the backup of UNHRC, UNDP, Save the Child. I had no backup from anybody. I just went on my own, grabbed a Land Rover and buzzed off into the desert. And so one of the times...
quite a few of you doing that, you said to me on the phone.
There's quite a few people that actually do this.
The route you've taken, not exactly the same with being a medic, but they come in and they have this drive to go and
there's quite a few
go and help.
Yeah. So one of the things we're talking about refugees, and you're talking about where they are from here, I get to see them before they come here. And I remember one of the places, I used to work on the outskirts of a place called in Arua. It's in Uganda. Arua means in prison. It was a town called in prison. I don't know why. But anyway, Arua was, well, I can tell you the history behind that, but the story is that they had a refugee camp they called Rhino Refugee Camp. And at the time, there was 150,000 refugees there coming either from the war in the Congo or in Sudan. And they'd have to walk 200-300 kilometers to come to this refugee camp. And so they were always arrested at the borders because they're crossing illegally. And I was the guy running around in a Land Rover giving them water and stuff. I couldn't put them in my Land Rover, else I'd be arrested for aiding and abetting. So I would just give them water, medical attention, and then point them to Rhino Refugee Camp and say, okay, you're 20 kilometers away or 6 kilometers away. So I would work on the fringes. Yeah. And I got to thinking one day was, how freaking bad was your life that you had to walk 300 kilometers through a desert to come and live in a tent?
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's not, that's what people don't get.
No.
They don't get.
Yeah, and they get searched on the way in quite often. You had to, just in case you have weapons and that. And some of them had to carry weapons because they're fending off all sorts of stuff coming through the desert. Other humans, adversaries, wildlife. So they have to give up their weapons. And I remember this one man came in there, and it was a really horrible story. He's like, but he was one of thousands that did this. He showed up there in a small bag full of his clothes and a little satchel. In his satchel, he had his birth certificate. He had his school graduation certificate, his wedding photographs, and photographs of his children. That's all he had. And I didn't speak Sudanese, so I didn't know the language. So through the interpreter, I said, well, is his family joining him afterwards? Because sometimes I would go and volunteer at the camp. And is his family coming afterwards? They said, no, that's all he's got left. He ended up having to leave. His family got brutally murdered. And so he lost his wife, his kids, everything, and he just decided to walk away. And his life was reduced to photographs and memories. That's all it was. And so we need more compassion, more empathy. I was talking to Jo when she was reading the book, and she was editing the book with me, and there's a piece in the book there where, at the same camp, you spend time working at this camp, and sometimes I'm an emergency medical technician. That's not much. It's a guy who can keep you alive until somebody who knows what they're doing shows up, and sometimes I was the highest qualified person there. It's 150,000 people in this camp. And maybe there's 5 or 6 of us that are medically trained. In a city of 150,000 people, you will have 15, 16 hospitals. You'll have 800 doctors, 2,000 nurses. Yeah. And it has 5 of us taking care of 150,000 people. Yeah. And women that have some of the saddest things you see. I remember one day leaving, and there was this woman sitting underneath an acacia tree and completely malnourished, feeding an equally malnourished child from an empty breast.
Yeah. This is trauma though, isn't it?
Oh, my life has been trauma from this, but it's something I'll always do. I'll do again and
but
again.
It's trauma
and again.
as a witness, as opposed to...
As a witness, to see this, and we don't see...
That's what you said.
You don't... what you guys went through in Chile, it was the same thing. It is hard. People don't want to leave their homes.
No.
You have family, you have roots, you have language, you have grandparents' graves, you have society, you have the church you go to, the neighbor you know.
Yeah.
It has got to be really the hardest thing in the world just to leave all of that because you have to save your children.
Mm-hmm.
So how far would you go to save your child? Would you do the same? This is, I would pose that question to people is, what would it take for you to get up and just have to leave everything you know and love? It's not out of choice. It's a necessity.
I can relate totally to this. I have 3 sons in their 30s. If we had a Taliban situation here, and it meant my sons were going to have to go into, or even if they were younger, going into basically become boy soldiers, I would pack them off on a boat and I'd get them out of the country.
Yeah.
As a woman, that would be the most important thing for me, and I don't think that's what people understand when they see the news here. The manufactured nonsense.
It's all sound bites. It's what sells newspapers, what sells news. So we're going to give something to stir up the people so they can keep talking. I saw this on CNN or British News or whatever it is. And they'll just keep talking and it makes people want to tune in and stuff.
Sure.
When you talked about child soldier, that was another heartbreaking time. I was working in Goma as an air ambulance pilot. And it's that was one of them, but here's some of the situations that were happening there. The rebels it's a very disruptive country, very unstable, and rebels there were taking over the mines, so they're killing the miners, etc., etc. Now they have nobody to mine the coltan and to get the tantalum so that we can have a nice new cell phone. So what they do is they go and raid a village. So they kill everybody that's no good to them. They take children, boys up to whatever age they are, from 7, 8 years old upwards. They go work in the mines, and the little girls, sometimes as young as 10, are given as child brides to the soldiers. So
they cultivate more.
So they've got children. So there's 10-year-olds. Well, it's the whole thing. 10-year-olds being given to. So when you see the village next door to you doing this, it's time for you to leave. Yeah. And so this is what causes, this happens throughout the Lord's Resistance Army. I saw that I spent time with a child soldier at who was a Joseph Kony in the Lord's Resistance Army. He had been taken as a child. He had to kill his sister because, to prove that, it was, the story's in the book here, but it was a terrible situation. And I met this kid and I spent time with him. And this is what, these unstable places of the world, and sometimes it's instability not only caused by them. Your country was not caused, Chile was not caused by the Chilean government. Allende was a fantastic leader. But because another country didn't like him, Victor Pinochet was propped up in the coup in September 11th, 1973. And it was awful. Yeah. And so that leads to, so sometimes it's famine, war, sometimes outside influences.
Unstable leaders.
World leaders outside your country. Well, Nixon and Kissinger was the problem in Chile and the CIA. And so it is, and so these are things that cause the problems. Is that when the problems arrive, the only difference between them and us is catastrophe hit them first. Because if catastrophe hit us here, we'd be them.
Yeah, totally.
So this is...
And that's what people can remove themselves from, because they don't understand it and they don't hear from people who have actually been through this. They hear sound bites, as you say, to sell newspapers from greedy tycoons who really, really should know better and have some sort of humanitarian spirit.
We need more compassion and more humanity in this world, and a little bit of understanding. People don't want to be immigrants. I mean, you go to school, and when we all went to school at some point, I hope, and when they say, the teacher says, what would you like to grow up to be? I've never ever heard anyone say a migrant, an immigrant, a displaced person. No. I hear doctor, lawyer, all these sort of things. And immigrants are great for communities. I mean, America itself, 12 million people came through Ellis Island. 12 million immigrants went to the United States through Ellis Island, and 40% of Americans could trace their heritage back to immigrants.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's why it's important to do these podcasts, you know, which are community led, because it's important. We don't have spaces to tell our stories.
No.
You know, the media is controlled, and they often give the spaces to the loud minority, because when we tell our stories,
and they're scared. That
we
minority are frightened. They're frightened.
But when we tell our stories, what we actually are talking about is how amazing the world is, and how many people are standing up to support refugees, to welcome, but they're not allowed in the media. We don't tell those stories. We don't tell the stories of the amazing things that are going on.
I was going to say, listening to your story there, I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't be moved by that story. But again, spaces to tell those kind of stories are very rare, like Rosanna says. But hearing that and getting a feeling for that, you begin to sort of you begin to understand why things happen. I think there is a kind of certainly with media, the media we have certainly in the West, it's almost impossible to be able to sort of even tell that kind of story. No one wants to listen to that.
No.
No one wants to hear that.
I think they do, but it gets capped. I think they really do, and otherwise you wouldn't be a success here. People want this to happen. In their heart, we are humanitarian, but we are conditioned to not be that. And that's so. I think, you know, when you see kids playing, they all want to play together. It's only when they start being conditioned out of the playing together that becomes an issue. So, but what has always been, I think, the saving grace of good civilization have been the storytellers. You're a great storyteller. You're a great storyteller. So are you. But it's about getting this out now.
Yeah. It's interesting. You said the children playing there. Just shot into my head. It was a lovely Bruce Hornsby song, and I don't remember
He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, it was a wonderful thing. He said, "You can't, hey little boy, you can't play with the other kids do because you don't look like they do." And then the next line was,
"That's just the way it is."
Hell, man, how can you stand to think that way?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
but it's another way of storytelling. Music, it's a great storytelling medium. Storytelling, literally, film, art. The arts always cover it, which is why I love here, because you use the arts. You use it really wisely.
I'm actually a terrible storyteller because I'm so emotional about.
No, this is not terrible.
This
is not terrible.
I really struggle with the emotions because, especially that I'm writing my second book, and the second book is my mental journey getting well again, trying to get well again. And I took off on a long motorcycle trip through North America, and I met people from hurricanes, people that have survived hurricanes in New Orleans, and also in Cameron, which is further west, that was never ever rebuilt, to Native Americans, to migrants coming through. The big migrants coming through from Central America, coming to the States. I ran into a lot of them in Panama and Nicaragua and stuff. And so this has been a huge emotional journey for me. And I wrote this first book is an ode to aid workers. It's like a big shout out to them for what they did so that they could keep people safe, so they could actually find some, and some of them never ever came back. And the second one is the mental struggle. So I'm very emotional, and I'm really close to my heart.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, right?
This whole thing,
no, it's good because you touch you can't not have this experience and not have it touch you, and this is what we need more of. So to give, and it's education. It's community. It's sitting around.
It's important to tell your story. It's important to tell it with tears, with everything that you have, because we're humans, and if we didn't cry, well, there would be something really badly wrong. So we have to cry, and this is what these safe spaces are for us to be able to tell these stories in our own words, and to cry if that's what we want to cry, and to laugh.
No, I laugh, but I struggle when I because a lot of it for me is that I see. I can still see this man. I can tell you what this is. 1994. I can tell you what he was dressed in and what the kid was dressed in. A child that I was doing, and someone handed me a dead child once in the Philippines. And I didn't realize the child was dead, and I was doing CPR on this child because the body was still warm. That's how good a medic I am. I didn't know it was dead, and that's a bit of the dark humor. And I kept doing this, and I'm staring at this kid, and I couldn't stop doing CPR until the doctor called it, and it was a busy emergency room.
Which happens in ER.
Yeah, so finally a doctor came and called the time, but I could tell you exactly what she was dressed in, what she looked like, what her mother was like. These are stories, they're not stories. These are memories, and these are things that stay with you for the rest of your life. And yes, I would do it again.
So on that note, this is more. So what we're going to have to do at some time, we're going to have to unpack both of these wonderful storytellers and bring full session specials. I think we need that for the pair of you. And if it means we fill the Henry Ward Hall with people. Hello, Mike.
You snuck in.
Yeah. If
I'm here.
Yeah. if we have to fill that place with people, so that we can share the stories and we get these stories out. When are you going to write a book? Just briefly.
Yes.
I think you're due a book, madam. We need a book. So. Gray Doyle, Meet Me in Zanzibar. This is already out. Where can we find this?
If you go to my website at meetmeinzanzibar.com, it gives you a whole range of places where you can buy it, and you can listen to probably this podcast and the other podcast I did with This Is Actually Happening. Yeah. Which is more.
You're becoming a bit of a podcast star. We're going to have more of this.
I set out to fly airplanes, not to do podcasts.
No. But anybody who does the work that you do, that people like us need to focus on them. So, Meet Me in Zanzibar, your book pending, I think, definitely. Guys, you've been absolutely, I don't know how to, I'm a bit lost for words, really, and that's not like me at all. It is, considering we can talk for hours. This has been extraordinary. So this goes out tomorrow, 6:00. And if you're watching this doesn't go out tomorrow, 6:00. It's already gone out. And we'll put the handouts. I was just going to say we'll put the handouts. No, we don't. We'll put shout-outs on the end. So our town has plenty. This has been an extraordinary episode from the pair of you. But the joy what did I say?
The pair.
No.
The pair
three. All of you.
The two organisations.
The trio.
I did say I was lost. And this is very true. This is you witnessing me lost. So everybody here, thank you so much. This has been, you know how long I've been trying to get you in front of a camera and your good selves. Our town, St Leonards, Hastings, and just beyond the borders. Wow. Don't we have it?
Thank you.
I'm going to get you to pick up your props now because we're going to toast. So pick up your cups, and we're going to. I know there's nothing in them. So our town has plenty.
Yes, guys, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
That's nice.
That was great.
Action.
I haven't got the bell.
Good. What a show.
What a show. That has just blown me officially away. I had to get a hanky out, as we affectionately call it in the UK. I had to get a tissue out and sort of discreetly dab my eye because there were moments during those.
Not sure how
both
discreet
of
it
those.
was.
Like, it wasn't discreet, but it was very necessary. It was really important to have that. There's Jim.
That's Jim.
Hey, Jim.
All right, Jim.
Can you? Oh, he's brought someone with him, I think.
Yeah.
So there's Jim James.
I think he's
everybody.
just out having a smoke.
Oh, do you think? Oh, he's probably just seen. Oh, somebody's just walked past. Probably gone out to chat to them. So,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, that was one of the most intense of our podcasts. In a really good way. It was just really good. So,
Yeah.
what we've just filmed is at the Refugee Buddy Project at Dove Cafe, 19 Bexhill Road, opposite TK Maxx. If ever you're in, I don't know where it is. That's where it is.
Yeah.
And
Great place. Good food.
It's so good.
You can buy yourself a meal and buy someone else a meal or a drink.
Yeah, you can pay it forward. I love their pay it forward scheme. The same as Barry Ashley down at the Grumpy Cook. They both got pay it forwards. There needs to be more of those actually. Hastings is really the right place for a pay it forward. So we saw Rosanna, Leal, Mike Delpeache. Yes, come on, don't call him Delpeache. He did say not to.
Did he say that?
He did. He said it's not. It looks like beach. He said.
Looks like peach, yeah.
And from Silver Hill, the band, whoop, whoop, and also an East Londoner, which I love so much. So Rosanna and Mike were talking about the Refugee Buddy project, and Gray Doyle was came in to talk about
His book.
Meet Me in Zanzibar,
Yeah.
his book about being a humanitarian aid pilot. So if you're watching these are on the end of the show.
Yeah. Take a look at the full thing.
At the full thing. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. So so what's happening in town this week? Oh, I must do this first.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise,
that's the big one.
Junior, yes, this is the big one this weekend. So I have now compromised somehow. I've got woken up with a cold. And I'm supposed to be singing on Saturday, which is June the 6th, for the phenomenal women, Sunshine on Sea. Hastings, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm not a tenor, but today I sound like a tenor. I sound like a lower alto. So on Saturday we have Sarah J. Morris, Juliet Russell, Vocal Explosion Ensemble, of which I am a part, so I'm very proud. Helen Sharp, Poppy Sharp, her daughter, and Erin Colley. So it's going to be literally a phenomenal gig. It's going to be amazing. So that's at Christchurch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which has got the best acoustics, hasn't it?
Amazing. Best show in town
Best show
this
in town,
weekend, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So I want to be on top. What have we got? What else have we got?
Vocal Club with NIKKI GERRARD.
Yeah.
She's a vocal coach. Goes from 6:30 until 8 p.m. at the White Rock Hotel.
On
Friday
Fridays,
evenings.
Yeah.
It's if you want to sing with more confidence, improve your ability to lead, and also learn about protecting your voice. NIKKI is going to show you how to do that at the White Rock Hotel. You can find her on Instagram, and we'll put the links.
We'll put the link up. She's my vocal coach, and before I went to NIKKI, I was a bit rubbish. I'm much better now. So I'm not quite as rubbish as I was, which is nice.
Are you rubbish at singing?
You rubbish at singing? Go and see NIKKI.
If you'd like to be less rubbish.
But what I love about NIKKI is she's geeky and nerdy. So she knows how to... There's a guy peeping in through. He's like, I'll catch you later.
Justin.
Oh, Justin. Is it the Scotsman? Irishman?
No, he's whoever he feels like that
he
day.
does lots of accents, doesn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah. Life on Norman Road, everybody. Because here we are at Mike's place, which is great.
It just happens.
It just happens. This Friday, Dan and Neil, Zero Arts, are spinning on the decks. Wheels of Steel at Frenchie's, starting at 9, going through till 2:30. So not only do these guys do the Wavelength and the Bottle Alley Art Market and every other artistic thing, they are extremely good DJs. Go and check them out. So the theme is optimism. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now, this is really interesting.
That's the
story.
room in the Hastings Museum, right?
Yeah, the Durbar Hall.
Yeah, the Hastings Museum. No, you have the story. You want to tell the story?
Shall I do the story?
You do the story.
So I did a bit of a deep dive on this, actually.
I can tell you
to be
wanted
honest.
to do the story.
Hastings Museum and Art Gallery on Bohemia Road. They are trying to find, if you go in and you'll see this extraordinary wood, a lot of it's teak, wooden room. They're rooms, actually, and they go
Absolutely
up through
gorgeous.
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? Which was brought over by the Brassies I think they brought it over in 1919. Well, they to say they brought it over, it was actually made in London. But they brought over two men from the Punjab. Now I have to put my glass on for this. Mohammed Baksh and Mohammed Juma. So during it was the big colonial and Indian exhibition. This was made. It was made out of 30 different woods, and they brought these guys over because if you've ever been to India and seen the incredible woodworking and marquetry that you get from these gentlemen, they are just extraordinary. So they brought these guys over and they made these fantastic panels, and they used to be in their home in London when they lived in London, but it was carved in 1886. So somewhere Mohammed Baksh, Baksh, and Mohammed Juma, Juma, they will have relatives. Will they be here in the UK, do you think? But what they want to do is they want to find the relatives of these two gentlemen, these wood carvers, and honour them, honour their legacy, their progeny, in some way at the museum. So if you know anything about anybody who's called Baksh and Juma, who are living in the UK, because they're going to do an international hunt for these gentlemen. They're what do we call
Descendants.
them? Descendants. Thank you. I was desperately trying to find the word. If you know of anybody with that name and find out that they are related to these two gentlemen, get in touch, because it's playing the race card, which is Claudine and team, and they're looking for them. Yes, and Claudine always gets her. When she goes on a hunt for something,
She gets what she wants.
She gets what she wants. You wouldn't argue with her.
No.
No, this is a good one.
All right. Tonka and Kismet at Sea Dog. It's a small independent team. They're looking for a chef or sous chef. They like to make everything from scratch.
Do you know who Tonka is, don't you?
Yeah.
Duke, don't you? So who's behind Kismet, which is Kim Duke and Three Souls in a Bowl?
Oh,
Raj.
nice.
They've twinned up. Isn't that fantastic?
That is good.
Isn't it good?
That is good.
Yeah.
Pays decent and creative input. Welcome. Also looking for a kitchen porter, kitchen assistant.
So they're looking for chefs, aren't they?
They want help in the kitchen, yeah.
They do.
So if you're reliable, enjoy learning, care about flavor.
Yeah.
I like to say flavor.
Flavor.
It's longer here.
Absolutely.
Flavor. And want to be a part of a growing business,
Yeah.
they'd love to hear from you. You can just get in touch with them at, what are we going to do? Put this email here?
Yeah. We're going to
put the email and the link.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, kitchen porters, chefs, anything, just get in touch. So we've got a phone number, we've got an email that we'll send out. So I didn't split this up very well, did I, Patsy? What are you doing? Hastings Theatre Project. I'm rubbish today. You can tell I'm not feeling very well. Oh, I know, bless my heart. I know, I'm such a soldier. Friday the 12th of June, 7:30, so it's next Friday. As part of the Scene, SCENE, Scene and Heard Festival at the Stables Theatre, there are two fantastic things. So the Scene and Heard Festival is a national thing, started in London, and they have two shows currently. One, Unravelling Twins, it's called. Identical twins and long-time ER fans. I used to love ER. You know ER, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Big American hospital drama. I loved it. It's weird we got George Clooney, didn't we? We got George Clooney from them.
Did we?
We did. That's where he started.
He's very handsome.
He's very handsome.
I don't know if you've seen him rock, but
No.
he's
He's pretty
Very
special.
He's a bit of a dick.
And other stars. Actually, no,
I had to
Wiley.
I had to correct you.
Go
George
on.
Clooney's first film was Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, of course it
That's
was.
right.
Bless my nerdy husband.
Thank you.
This is what I have to put up with, dear reader, dear listener. But Noah Wiley, who does The Pit.
The Pit.
So he was a junior doctor in that one. Just shows how long it is.
Anyway, they don't need the exposure.
They don't need that. This is true, but they are ER fans. So Anna and Georgina hit 40 and are shocked to find themselves in a medical drama of their own. So it's what it's like to be twins in a medical situation. But they've done this fantastic reenactment, told via letters, reenactments of hospital appointments, and the healing power of pop icons. It's a comedy about twins unravelling. I love this, absolutely. So who else is going to be part of this? The Molly Winklers. They're also part of Seen and Heard. We were with them last night. It was great at the Stables Theatre. So that's in the archive. Go and have a look. So that'll be out this week. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Edible. I'll go on with Anna. Shall I just briefly? Edible open gardens with Anna Locke. She's permaculture Anna. We've had her on before. Lovely Anna. So the launch party is on Friday. So if you're watching this on Thursday,
It's tomorrow.
it's tomorrow. Absolutely.
Pack your bags.
Absolutely. 5th of June, 6:30 at Alexandra Park. So you can pick up your event brochure. You can also and have a drink. She says, have a drink on us. So the event itself is the 27th and 28th of June, which is a few weekends away. But there are 29 gardens to see where you can eat. You can munch your way through the
You
garden.
can just eat the whole thing.
I know. I think
Is
that's
it all
what
you can
marvellous.
eat?
Well, depending on the small holding, it might depend. So she will teach you about what you can and what you can't eat and take you around all these gardens.
So there are
29
things you
gardens.
can't
Things
eat.
you can't.
Yeah.
Don't just eat everything.
No, don't just
You
pop
can
everything.
eat it, but it might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
You might end up in ER.
Oh, ooh, and
What'd
we're
you
back.
What'd you get? I know, it was seamless, wasn't it?
God, it was good.
So that's this Friday, 6:30 at the Greenhouse in Alexandra Park. Go and see it, and that greenhouse is just divine. But they were also raffling off free Great Dixter garden tickets at their party. You've not been to Great Dixter?
Nope.
I know, I haven't taken you there because I'm rubbish.
No.
We've been here 22, or you've been here 22 years. And he said, she's never taken me to Great Dixter.
Was there ever a show called A&E?
I don't know. Chicago Hope was another big one. We're going back there, aren't
No,
we?
but A&E. Is there like an English version?
I think
Could you
it's
make it a-
It's probably a reality TV show.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Not
there is
dramatized.
A&E and surgeons. We like to watch surgeons. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
Patsy. So this is great.
Alleyway Learning.
Yeah.
Come and drum. Dennis
Now,
Davidiuk?
Dennis
Davidiuk,
Yeah.
founder of Be Together Drum Circle and one of the most experienced drum circle facilitators you'll find around these parts.
Absolutely.
This Saturday, you can find him at Stade Hall in Hastings, with his basics of rhythmic playing and singing session. It's not really about drumming; it's about well-being and connection. I'm pretty sure you'll be playing drums, though, and finding your balance through the power of rhythm and group interaction. You don't need to say a word, although it might be better if you did. Just a kind greeting.
Or hello.
Hello, just say hello. Just turn up, feel the beat, and let the music do the rest.
What time? Sorry.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
That's from
From
10:30.
American Cool.
It's on Saturday, which is 2 days from now. If you're watching the day we put it out, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Stade Hall.
Nice.
£6, cheaper concessions, and there's free spaces available. No experience necessary.
No.
And like you said, you don't even have to talk. You can do it silent.
Absolutely.
So
He has held, when I did a little bit of a deep dive on him, he has held drumming events where you've got 500 people. Can you imagine 500 people on the drums? Woof.
sounds loud.
I know. But good though. Good though. Big Flea. So James Matthew Thomas. The Big Flea.
Sounds
He's great though, isn't
Itchy.
he? JMT. I love James Matthew Thomas. The Big Flea is at the Falaise Hall. We like a big flea round here, don't we? Lots of people love big fleas. which is obviously it's a market. So they've got indoor. They're at the Indoor Bowls Club and the Outdoor Greens at the Falaise, up on near the Oval, just off the Oval. So this Sunday, 7th of June, 10 till 4. The weather's going to be glorious. Indoor pitches, marquee pitches. I said market pitches, wrong, Patsy. And vehicle pitches. So it's like basically a boot fair, a tent fair, and an indoor fair. They've got a picnic area, so you can make a day of it. They've got the fun fair right next door. Can't wait, absolutely.
So many fairs, it's not fair.
I know, it's just marvellous, isn't it? It's that play on words, Mike. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
And they've got sweet treats if you're looking for that kind of fair.
I know. Who's going to provide those? Baked banana?
Baked banana and baklava bakes by Falaise Cafe.
Yeah, and the lovely stuff at the Falaise, which is great.
Well, hold on. Just to be clear,
We call that Falaise.
Is it Falaise?
You called that Falaise.
You call it Falaise, do you?
Yeah.
Is it baked banana and then separate baklava?
These are companies, baked banana, or banana, as you call it.
Oh, really?
And baklava.
Those are places?
Yeah, they're companies.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say a baked banana and baklava bake doesn't sound great to me.
No, you wouldn't mix them, would you? I do like baked banana, though. Yes, rolled in rum and brown sugar and butter.
And just bake it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
If you're looking for a pudding and you need a sweet
I normally
treat.
do it fried.
Or fried. Doesn't matter. You can pop it in the oven. Doesn't matter. It's Falaise, yes. We call it Falaise, not fillets.
Fillets.
Falaise.
Am I doing this one?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I wanted to do this one. World Crazy Golf. I like to call it Crazy Golf.
Yeah.
World Crazy Golf Championships 2026. This is the big one, folks.
It is.
It runs from the Friday the 5th, that's tomorrow, through the 7th of June. And players from all over the world will come to Hastings Seafront and enjoy our town's hospitality and play on our world-famous crazy golf course.
It's windy out there, though, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be choppy.
Very crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
You guys might not know this, but there's a mini golf touring calendar, and this is one of the flagship events. And it carries the biggest prize pot for the winners.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense because it is bloody expensive.
It is very expensive.
No, but it's well worth it.
But it's fun. It's fun.
If you want to argue with your kids and tell your kids off for getting into the fake water features, you go no further than Hastings Seafront.
Do you want them to get a knock on the back of the head from the windmill?
That's it.
I'm getting the ball out, Daddy. I'm all of that. My kids all the time. Get out of there. All I can tell them is get out of there. Don't touch it.
It's a rite of passage, isn't it?
It is.
HastingsAdventureGolf.com.
So you can see all the flags out. They're all out there. All flags of all nations. Lovely. We love it, don't we? So this is funny. So I saw Frank Moon. You like Frank Moon, don't you?
I do love Frank.
Isn't it?
Yeah, he's good.
So I saw him yesterday when we did the Molly Winklers Morris side at the stables because Frank's married to Bev. So he is one of the features for the Two Ship Festival, which is how Sussex men count sheep. One ship, two ship. So it became a thing. Do you get it?
No.
So we don't say one sheep. So if you listen to people in Sussex, they don't.
It's like fillets.
They don't. Falaise, don't they? Falaise. Bless. So they don't say. We don't say sheep. So in Sussex, it's ship. And if you hear people and they say a Sussexism is very Sussex is, have you seen it? Which is SIN. And what they mean is, have you seen it? So you can always tell a Londoner because they'll say seen, but if a local, they'll say sin. So like sheep, so they don't say E for sheep, they say ship. So.
Oh, wow.
I know, just a little bit of history.
That's Saturday? This is an amazing lineup. Do you know these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few of them. So this is happening this Saturday. So the Two Ship Festival returns to the Beacon for its fourth year. It's marvellous. So a day packed with 5 sets from 11 artists plus food and drink. So it's doors open at 2 And then you've got Tamar Osborne. She's amazing.
I've got one of her records over there. I
isn't
listen
she?
to it all the time.
God, she's so good. So she's on saxophone with Frank Moon. Now, I don't know what Frank Moon's going to play
Who
because
knows?
he's got a bevy of
It's going to be
instruments.
something weird.
He's a bit of a polymath, isn't he, when it comes to music, Frank Moon? So that's at 2:30. 3:45, Angharad Davis and Rachel Musson. So you've got sax from Angharad and violin from Rachel. 5 o'clock, you've got the Composite Mashworks, which is Kath Roberts and Tullis Rennie on sax and trombone respectively. So I do like a trombone player. I do like.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of brass.
And Tullis does sort of like this environmental, like, sound healing stuff. It's very conversational.
It's very experimental.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
All these are sort of venturing into the experimegal side of things.
And I think that's the whole point because it does say improvised. I think that's the point really. Regan Bowering, who apparently is an extraordinary. Now I don't know this person, but an extraordinary percussionist. So, and I love percussion because I'm married to somebody who taps his foot all the time, bangs on a table, can't sit still. Can you, darling? Bless your heart. So I've had to go with that and join in as he's tapping his foot right now. So Regan Bowering, yes, percussion. And then you've got 8:30 p.m. Kosa Cole, who is
amazing,
extraordinary.
I saw him at Jazz Hastings. It was pretty weird though.
He's a jazz musician of the year.
He had somebody doing tap dancing instead of drums.
Phenomenal. I loved that.
Bizarre, but it was good.
I bet it was.
She was like up on a platform.
Yeah.
And that was the rhythm.
Oh.
And Jason Yard, he's local and amazing.
He is. On sax.
It's going to be a great...
Ollie Bryce on bass.
Yep.
Pete Ibbotson. Welcome to town, Pete Ibbotson. You're new to town.
Is he new?
Yeah, he's a drummer.
Oh.
And he's legendary and he's not long moved to town. So welcome to town, Pete Ibbotson. It's great.
Welcome.
So food by the shared table served all day. Two Ship Festival 2026. The Beacon up at St Mary's Terrace. If you don't know, look it up. TN343LS. We will put the details
Great
below.
setting.
Yeah, it looks like a great gig, doesn't it?
Hidden Beach Festival weekend wants to offer a big old thank you. A lovely gesture. Free tickets for key workers to join us at the Oval on Hastings, on the 8th and 9th of August.
Yeah.
Lovely thing. NHS staff, teachers, carers, social workers, support workers, emergency services, local government staff, transport workers, charity and community workers, and others serving our communities, free of charge.
Isn't that lovely?
It is great.
Yeah.
A lovely gesture.
What a warm gesture.
Saturday is live music, DJs, workshops, food, culture, and community. And Sunday is a disco. It's the Love Sensation Festival with disco,
it's our
soul
favourite.
house,
I'm doing this.
and feel good.
That's metal, isn't it? It's wrong. It's soul. It's soul.
You can still do this.
Can you?
They are the devil horns, so it's a bit of a different vibe.
It's this, but it's also that. So I love the soul on the Sundays. Yes. So last but not least, we have 3 markets this Saturday. So we've got the Christchurch Market, which has a table sale, 9:30 till noon. You can go in there and eat the delicious cake because at the table sale, the cake is off the charts. And then you can go back in the evening and watch the
Faith?
the phenomenal women.
That's right. Yeah.
Christchurch.
I think it's something else.
So exactly. Yeah. But if you still want to mooch, you've got St Leonards Street Market, which is the first Saturday of every month. So Anton Burton Winter. You know Anton. Oi. He's lovely. Hello Anton. Bless your lovely socks. He organises that.
Oh, does he?
Yes. That and Pirate Day. He is a busy guy. That lovely guy. So that's King's Road. That's 10 till 4. But across the road, because you go up the alley, the Twitten, between... Betwixt King's Road, go straight up. And you can go to St Leonards Church Market, which is back. this weekend.
Saturday is, and St Leonards is
I know.
shopping day.
It is shopping day. Put your glad rags on or put something comfy, but comfy shoes, everybody.
Shall I say my bits?
Darling, go ahead.
Real quick, June 16th, I think it's the third Tuesday.
Nice.
At Jenny, we'll be doing our final Southern session at Jenny Lind. Please join us. The band is, I'm loving it. We met in this room last night.
Great room.
We're really digging into songs. We're writing new songs every week. Somebody brings something new, and harmonizing and coming up with the arrangements. It's a really fun project. So I hope you come see us. That's free, June 16th.
Yep.
And then June 20th, Blair, McKeechin, Leanne, and I are doing a benefit. It's a gig for Glenn and Kath to help with some costs associated with their garden. They've had some trouble there with some equipment being stolen, fire, things of that nature.
That's so mean.
It is. Yeah. I thought you were saying I was being mean.
No, you're not
Yeah,
mean. No,
yeah,
it's so mean. Why would somebody break in and then
Wow.
stop that? It's horrible.
But in any case, they need our help, and
They
they've
do.
done so much to help us. Tickets are selling well. I expect it to sell out, and I know me and Leanne and Blair are looking forward to putting on a great show. And then there was one other thing I was going to say, right? Oh, apples and oranges. Please do come. It's the first and third Wednesday of each month, and we meet in this room. We sit in a circle. We share music and poems and stories, and if we like, occasionally someone will come and kind of similar to what you do on the show, they'll talk about something they're doing to create a conversation. It's a great setting. We all care deeply about each other. Communities formed around it, but it's the first and third Wednesdays. It's better if you book online at Mike's Lists if you want to be guaranteed a spot.
Yeah, it's a lovely environment. I love it. I'm currently doing improv on a Wednesday, so I'm learning my craft
Every Wednesday.
for the next 8 weeks, and then I'll be off again. I'll be free. So but the environment of apples and oranges is just
Special.
It's really special. It's really nurturing. So if you're new to town, come and join. If you're looking for somewhere to just, you don't have to perform either. You can come
Just
and
listen.
have be a listener.
Be a fly on the wall.
Be a fly on the wall. But it's very moving. You know, some of the best poets I've heard are here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most beautiful jams I've ever heard. People just jamming along. It just happened here. They're organic, and it's just such a lovely place. You're very lucky. We're very lucky to have this in our community, and thank you so much for providing what you do.
Yeah, thank you. This community is it's like symbiotic.
It is. It's very yummy.
Well, what a great show. Lots going on
show,
here, eh?
Great show. I love it. Thank you so much. So if you want to buy us a cup of coffee, we'll leave the link down below.
Ko-fi.
We love a Ko-fi, K-O-F-I. Buy us a cup of coffee because it helps with the cost. Go on. It's lovely. It's a lovely thing. Thank you to all of those that are doing that currently. We really appreciate it. Everything gets put back into the business. Everything gets put back into licenses and equipment because this stuff breaks. You know, it does what it does, and we have to keep.
We
buying
love coffee.
We do love.
We love it.
We do. Bless your heart. So, love you and leave you. Next week we are at the Beacon, and then we're going to be taking some time off. And Rack's looking at me going, "Are we? That's nice. Thank you." He says, "We just need to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back after, and then we'll have a proper break for the summer." But so we're with Dora and the team at the Beacon next week. So can't wait. Who else is going to be with us, Patsy? Oh, the Velvet Lounge. Now that's going to be a lovely thing too. So Bernie's Velvet Lounge, but it's not going to be Bernie. It's going to be others. So we're going to be talking about it. Whoop, whoop.
Sounds very sensory.
Yes.
Sensory and smooth.
It's a Crown House affair. Or the Crown House. That could be a film, couldn't it? The Crown House.
The
affair.
crowd.
Woo! Like Thomas Crown affair, but the Crown House affair. We love you and we leave you. Thank you very much. Our town has plenty world. Thank you for letting us into your living rooms or your breakfast table or wherever you happen to be watching your podcast. We love you. We love you. Thanks, Mike.
High five.
High
5, man.
Our town has plenty.
Woo! No bell. Ding, 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 ding.